Well, Hope's Home started, I believe, 20 years ago, probably with the birth of my first daughter, and she really put the vision for children with complex medical needs into my heart. And then 8 years ago, we opened Hope's Home to take care of our first medical child, actually just as in our family home, to take care of him in a daycare. It was well, when I think back, I took a year off, a leave of absence, because I'm a nurse. I worked pediatric intensive care and neonatal intensive care at the time. And I was really seeing a need for community care for kids who didn't have support once we discharged them from the hospital. Parents were taking kids with life-threatening illnesses home, kids that were dependent on 24-hour nursing care, not really having that support when they got back into the community. So it really started with, at that time, a little girl named Hope, and she was our foster daughter, and she only lived 10 months, and all of it in the hospital. And when she passed away, it really opened my eyes to recognize the gap in community care. And I thought, we have to make a difference. I had personally discharged numerous families home with children that were on life support, children that are on ventilators, tracheotomies, tube feeds, who I just assumed there was help for them. And when we were looking at taking Hope as our foster daughter home, and I wanted to maintain my employment at the hospital, there was no help. So therefore, the whole Hope's Home was birthed out of her little life of 10 months. Such a story when you think back, only 8 years, it's quite a rich history. But we started off just as a nonprofit corporation and a charitable organization. I had done such many years of volunteer work, so kind of understood that's the path we should be going. Really didn't think that there was such a big need. When I opened, I thought, I'm going to take care of this one little guy and his sister and help, personal family friend who they had become. And all of a sudden, I had 5 children in my home, had to hire another nurse. And that's when the funding became what's called a home daycare at that time, and then became a group family daycare, and it just really grew. Because of the need. And again, I didn't personally know that. It's not like I set up to start Hope's Home. It just evolved. And it evolved by need. So 5 more kids came. We got to get bigger house. All of a sudden there was 12 children in our home, 4 staff coming every day. At that point, we had funding coming in from the Ministry of Education as a daycare. And we had initial coming from the Regina Qu'Appelle Health Region to pay for part of the nursing care that we were providing. And we were just starting work with the Ministry of Social Services. That would be about 6 to 8 years ago. In Regina, we opened 350 College Avenue in 2008. We walked in with those 12 kids and 4 staff, never dreaming that we were the first medical daycare in Canada. Had no idea. Like, we just were taking care of kids in Regina and meeting a gap. And it's really evolved. Now we have, my goodness, 3 centers in Regina, 3 locations where we run different programs for medical kids. And we have 27 full-time staff. We have 78 kids that come every day. It's really, really grown.